Hello, and welcome back to the Castle Combat YouTube channel. So today, I'm going to be reviewing a card that I've wanted to review for a while. He's one of my favorite cards, and he has such an interesting backstory, and there's so much. He's probably one of the strongest warriors in all of Castle Combat. I, of course, am talking about Romulus the Conqueror. He has a really interesting story, and these are the other cards associated with him. So I'm going to read a little bit of facts about him and a little bit of his story, and yeah. So, for nearly 10 years, Romulus ruled the Yellow Good Guy army, and had many victories. He was feared throughout Sagaheim, and even recognized as the greatest tactical general since Augustus. Even dragon lords feared to face his forces. Over time, he was known as Romulus the Conqueror. And he's known as Romulus the Conqueror just because he wins a whole lot of battles. He wins a lot of his battles because he's such a great tactician. And something interesting about him is, alone, Romulus, even though he's a 5, he's not very powerful. And his greatest strengths are when he does his epic battle and he commands troops. So that's something pretty interesting. But not all was well in the castle, for there was a young politician named Nero Leo. He was the nephew of the slain Emperor Titanicus. Nero Leo was filled with ambition of his own. He wanted to be emperor and felt that he was entitled to the throne because of his direct bloodline. Nero Leo was afraid of Romulus and never confronted him. Instead, he made plots and weaved lies to try to make Romulus look bad. Most were unsuccessful, but one fateful day, it all changed. So basically, what that means is Nero Leo was just trying to make Romulus look bad so he wouldn't be ranked so high, because Nero Leo wanted to rule without Romulus. Romulus went to war in the dark moors of the Boglord, the very place he was found decades before he was adopted by his father. His foe was a terrible monster named Howlgore, a cursed werewolf lord. Romulus and Howlgore the Beast faced off, one-on-one, in mortal combat. Romulus was way better with a sword, but Howlgore was more ferocious than any foe he had ever faced. In the end, Romulus was defeated. He defeated the werewolf lord, but not before getting bit on the hand. So, Romulus unfortunately, he tried to do a one-on-one thing, and as I previously mentioned, Romulus isn't so great one-on-one. He's not very powerful one-on-one, and if he had decided to use if he had done like a team-up kind of thing, when he commands his armies, he probably could have defeated Howlgore without getting bitten. Howlgore had passed the curse on. On the next full moon, Romulus changed into a werewolf, and never changed back. Even though Romulus returned victorious, he had lost his human form forever. Nero Leo took advantage of this. He warned people that Romulus, a monster, could not rule. He convinced the Senate to vote to banish the great Emperor Romulus. On a cold, rainy day in October, Romulus was stripped of his crown and he was sent away in shame. He traveled the world looking for a new home, but he was shunned by most of the good guy castles. He returned to the Dark Moors, the place he had been orphaned. There, he met another banished ruler. Her name, Princess Morgana. And we have Princess Morgana here. They decided to team up and get revenge upon those who had wronged them. With the help of Onyx III, they defeated the Boglord and Howlgore. Now Romulus lives in the Dark Tower with Morgana and her minions. He accepted his new werewolf form and began to form legions of werewolves from the moors, but secretly hoped to take the Grail of Sagaheim and drink its healing water. Only that can lift the curse. So, Romulus kind of has a sad story, but in the end he kind of turned bad, and it's unfortunate that he turned bad, because he's such a strong warrior, and he would be such a great ally for the good guy armies. Here we have Romulus the Conqueror, the actual card. This is from the new set, and they actually made him even better than he was. He was already a great card, but they made him even better. And it's kind of like a little subtle difference, but it's even better. So he's Epic Battle, 2 out of 3. He can arrange any epic battle he is in. He and his allies get 1 reroll per round. and he was once the ruler of the yellow good guy, but now he is cursed. So he's in here. We also have Princess Morgana, and she is also very good. She's also part of the black bad guys. This video is not on her though. So she's 2 out of 3, and you can choose any card from your opponent's hand to battle. In epic battle, she can choose her matchups. She's +1 versus common foes. So that's mainly what I have to say about Romulus. He's a very interesting character, and he has a lot of different attributes. He also, I can read some facts about him as well. But before I do that, you can get a look at the young Romulus. I'm not sure if he's going to come into sets yet, as well as Hal Gore. He was mentioned in the story. He has not come out yet since the Whitebacks, but I'm hoping to see Hal Gore in the future because Hal Gore is just such a cool card. Romulus is 53 years old. He is cursed with permanent lycanthropy, which means he can never take human form again. He remains in his werewolf shape until the curse is broken, and he hates Emperor Nero Leo and vows revenge upon the Yellow Good Guy Kingdom. At one time, Romulus was the most feared commander in all of Sagaheim, and he still might be. He's very strong and probably one of the best cards in Castle Combat. He wears full armor and a face mask, sometimes to hide his werewolf form. And there his face mask. He is Queen Morgana's best general, and his worst enemies are Emperor Nero Leo, the Bog Lord, Prince Morgan, Hal Gore, and Nightshade. And so that's mostly what we have about Romulus. There's not a whole lot more. I can read a little bit more, but there's not too much more. I can read the rise of Romulus. 50 years ago, legend has it Romulus was an orphan, raised by wolves on the land of the Dark Moors in the Boglands. Indeed, he was found there after a battle, just a toddler. The Yellow Good Guy army was facing the Boglord's Black Bad army. A centurion captain by the name of Augustus found the little boy alone and dressed in wolf pelts. He adopted him. Romulus grew up in a strict military family. Augustus moved up the ranks and became general. All the while, his adopted son, he joined the Yellow Legions and became a centurion at age 20. He was a brilliant warrior with amazing reflexes and unmatched swordplay. He fought many battles and became a centurion captain when he was only 23. He proved his worth many times over, and he became the second in command, answering only to his father, Augustus and Emperor Titanicus. Titanicus was not a warrior. He was a politician. He was wary of General Augustus and did not like how much power the general had. The people of the Yellow Good Guys loved General Augustus, and they cheered his many victories. This angered Titanicus, who plotted to assassinate the great general. When General Augustus turned 60 years old, he was secretly poisoned by Titanicus. The emperor mourned for the loss, and they went to war. Romulus became general. Little did he know that Titanicus wanted to poison Romulus too. An oracle of the Yellow Good army named Oculus came to Romulus with a dire warning. He foresaw Titanicus poisoning a goblet and giving it to Romulus. After a great victory parade, the emperor asked to meet the young general. He was 39 years old. He offered a goblet to Romulus, just as the oracle had foreseen. Romulus dipped bread into the juice and gave it to Titanicus' pet lion. The lion immediately died. It was then that Romulus knew the Emperor Titanicus had assassinated his father. Augustus then drew his sword and slayed the treacherous emperor on the spot. After much revolt, Romulus became the new emperor at age 40. He ruled for 10 years and waged war against many kingdoms. His tactics were brilliant, and he learned from his adopted father, Augustus. He became a great emperor, and his people loved him. From orphan to emperor, this could have been a happy ending, but fate was not kind to Emperor Romulus. So that's kind of interesting about him. He had unmatched swordplay, so it would be kind of interesting to see what would happen against Sir Drake. You can kind of hear some stuff in the background, and right now it's raining. but I really wanted to record this video because I was really excited to talk about Romulus. Otho the Owl says, "Well met. My name is Otho the Owl, head of the Sagaheim Wizard Council, and chronicler of Sagaheim legendary lore. I have researched many of the legendary heroes and villains of Sagaheim, and I will share my findings with you. If you wish to be an expert on the world of Sagaheim, then look no further for my legendary lore series. In this installment, we will investigate the tragic figure in Sagaheim. From orphan to emperor, from emperor to banished beast, Romulus the Conqueror. Much of my studies involve very old scrolls written in ancient Sagaheim runes. I have included a key if you wish to decipher some of the writings. So, if you want to look at the writings, whoops, here you are. Here's some stuff. And then let's see if I can. That's basically what there is. I'm not sure if there's any other stuff. But yeah, these are the old legendary lore ones. So it's kind of fun to look at the stuff. And something really cool is you can write in this. If you want to have like a secret code, you can use this. So like there's different symbols. Let's push this down here. So as you can see, S would be this. And so you just write it in these instead of letters. And then you could show your friends. And it'd be really, really cool because you'd have a secret language. But enough with that. Let's talk a little bit more about Romulus before this video ends. So, he comes from Yellow Good Guy. He was Yellow Good Guy until he was bitten by Halgora. So, right here is Yellow Bad. Yellow Good is like just a little bit down. But now he lives in the Black Tower because he took it away from the Bog Lord. Nothing else really about Romulus. He's a really, really interesting card. And he's in sets right now. I heavily suggest you should try to get him because he's just a really strong card for any black bad guy army. Thanks for watching as always, and see you in the next video.